Heroes. Attention! So you think you're a clear thinker, looking at information from an objective standpoint? I have bad news for you, because most of the time that's not the case. How many recent bad news can you remember? Probably a ton. How about good ones? Let me guess, not so many. This is one of many cognitive biases which can affect the way you act, you judge, you decide, you think, and potentially mess up big parts of your life. I will show you how and why this happens, and also present you ways to regain an unbiased way of thinking. Welcome to Hero Academy. I'm Gangwon, helping you leveling up in life. Cognitive biases come in many different forms, and in many cases they creep in so subtle into your daily life, you don't even notice how it influences the way you see and think. To be able to escape this low-key trap, we need to understand how it works and what causes it. Cognitive biases are ways of thinking about and perceiving the world around you that might not even reflect reality. The human brain is super powerful, but it has its limitations. So, in order to make quicker decisions, it often tries to simplify the information processing. So one way to do so is to fall back on various types of biases. For instance, if we believe that planes are dangerous, a handful of stories about plane crashes tend to be more memorable than millions of stories about how safe it is, how successful flights are, and this will lead you to believe that flying is super dangerous. So instead of considering all available information, we draw conclusions from cognitive biases. Keep in mind there are a lot of different types, but for the sake of the message, I'll introduce you to just a few, and at the same time I will show you how to overcome them. At the end of the video, you will understand how much influence cognitive biases can have on you. Let's start with the confirmation bias. You pay more attention to people or ideas that agree with you. You're favoring information that confirm your existing beliefs, and at the same time you block out facts which say otherwise. Let's say you believe that having a big ego is a positive trait. Therefore, reading the same opinion somewhere else has a bigger impact on you than reading something which say it's not true. What can I do about this? Be more open-minded. Allow yourself to doubt your beliefs and do some fact-checking. The bandwagon effect. When other people are doing the same thing, it must be correct, right? I bought a lot of toilet paper because I saw other people do the same. But how do I stop this? Well, what if you had never seen those people? Would your opinion be different? And if yes, how so? Think about why people do this and if there's a valid reason to do so. Next up, the halo effect. Your overall impression of someone influences the way how you feel and how you think about them. Especially physical attractiveness tends to have higher priority than other qualities. So here's how to overcome it. Remember, first impressions are not always accurate. Refrain from judging someone or something before knowing more about the person or that topic. The Hawetthorn Effect. Hawetthorn? Do you realize that sometimes you act differently when you're being watched? Your boss is around you and you suddenly work harder? If someone knows that they're being observed in any way, it can alter their behavior. How do I overcome this? Well, but just knowing that this exists will already change your behavior. Voila! Did you recognize some of those biases before? Yes? Great, awesome. Also, before we continue on, it would really help me if you just click on the like button. That would feed the YouTube algorithm and help me out a little bit. The negative bias. You pay more attention to negative things and you also remember them better. This refers to the example with the plane crashes earlier. How do you overcome this? Don't just ignore the good things and try reflecting on them before making any decisions. So in this case, also read news about successful flight stories and how safe it is. The IKEA effect. You place a disproportionately high value on things that you personally created or assembled. So you believe that your idea is the best. The product you created is the best. There's nothing better than this. How do you overcome this? Just because it was your idea or your creation, it doesn't mean it's a good one. Make sure you know when to accept defeat and also when to cut losses. The Dunning-Krueger effect. Experts doubting themselves. and unskilled people overestimate their abilities. The latter one is obviously the bigger troublemaker. If someone makes a 100% definite statement, you better take that information with a grain of salt. The outcome bias. Judging your decision based on the outcome in the past instead of how the decision was made. Quick example, one person was driving drunk, had no accidents, and police didn't notice. This makes the person more likely to do the same thing again, even though it's not smart and illegal. How to tackle the outcome bias. Instead of focusing on the outcome, think about the circumstances which might lead to a worst case scenario, and then base your decision on that. The planning fallacy. Underestimating how long it will take you to complete the task. I think this happened to everyone before. I'm also a victim of this. So how to overcome this? Well, give yourself more time than you think. Start earlier. And if possible, fall back on data on similar tasks. Meaning, how long did it take you to complete something similar in the past? And then base your planning on this. Consider also unexpected complications and obstacles. Those were some common cognitive biases. I hope this knowledge helps you understand the way you think better and hopefully also help you think more objectively, act more responsible, and make better decisions. Alright, it's time for a level up. What is your worst bias? Did you already overcome it? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'm looking forward to leveling up with you again, heroes. Gangwon out.